you.
Nice to meet you too.
Welcome back, Renata.
Thank you so much. Good to see you. Nice to see you too.
That's great. We are finished.
So I'm just going to the campground.
Okay, so am I. Go ahead.
Every summer, thousands of Christian youth like Francois Tanteau and Renata Fa gather in central France for a week of prayer and Bible study.
Yes, I work out all the time.
Taizé is an important religious community. All the witnesses we are going to talk about were there for a gathering, a Christian gathering of the 15th of August.
Ciao, Francois.
Oh, how are you?
Oh, good, yes. Good.
May I sit with you?
Oh, sure, yes.
They were camping in the vicinity. And some of them were having a sort of gathering around a fire.
There's so many spiders out tonight. I hope they do not end up in my tent.
Don't worry, there's just tiny little spiders like this. What is it, Renata?
Nothing, I don't know. What activity should you do tomorrow?
Oh, tomorrow I think we're going to be doing some canoeing.
Oh, yes.
And we're going to be doing, that's going to be in the afternoon. In the morning we're going to...
Renata Fa noticed a big star in the sky.
C'est quoi ça?
I don't know.
François Tanteau had a very nervous feeling.
The sighting attracts other nearby campers.
There was another young Frenchman and an Italian young man who was a student there. They described a series of lights on a huge dark mass, like just a cylinder or something like that.
It radiates a series of unusual beams of light.
The beams seemed not to reach completely the ground.
The witnesses appear to be confronted by a little-known optical phenomenon called solid light.
Solid light cases involve the projection of light in a column of light, like the lightsabers that are used in the Star Wars movies.
Scientifically, it's completely impossible. Nobody knows how to do that today.
And yet here we have this kind of tubular light.
Intrigued, the witnesses decide to investigate. But only a few hundred meters from the campsite, they literally hit a wall.
They became aware of what appeared to be like a hedge between them and this unusual object.
A hedge that wasn't there when they passed through the area earlier that day.
What we would find later on was that investigators determined that there was no such hedge at that location in the valley.
It seemed that the edge was there to prevent them from coming too close.
At that point, they start to become very concerned that something quite strange is going on.
Francois Tanteau goes in for a closer look.
It just got a hell of a lot weirder for them.
A group of young Christian pilgrims notice a strange object in the distance. When they try to get closer, their path is blocked by a giant hedge that seems to have come out of nowhere.
There was no such hedge at that location in the valley.
Through the hedge, Francois Tanteau sees a large mound-shaped mass in the shadows.
different object distinct from the main large object that they were heading towards. This different object appeared to be like a missile shell or a bullet-shaped thing, but rather broader at the base.
Suddenly, the object becomes fully illuminated, and it's enormous.
One of the witnesses suggested it was a bus, but it was much bigger than that. They estimated the size of this object at 40 meters wide.
Witnesses describe a series of lights circling the object.
Some sort of agile red light that was moving inside it and also outside of it.
They were like discs. Of course, we had the idea of flashing light toward the object to see better.
But the flashlight beam starts behaving very strangely.
It bends and is projected upwards and again behaves in a way similar to a Star Wars lightsaber effect where it suddenly becomes a column of light.
One of the big lights pointed a beam toward them, which blinded them for a while.
Some of them reported tingling, almost like a pins and needle effect. That has occurred in a number of different solid light cases, but quite often the effects can be more dramatic, even to the point of paralysis.
At that point, they became anxious and frightened.
A retreat was on their mind at that point.
Back at the campsite, they see the same object that originally caught their attention.
The original UFO was still there, and when they came back, they kept observing it.
Back at the site, the campers are drawn once again to the skies.
The big object suddenly went off rather fast toward the south. In the morning, they went back to the field, and there was nothing left. No object, no fence, nothing.
But Francois Tanteau does uncover some evidence. When he returns to the site, he finds an area of burnt and desiccated grass, 30 meters long, the same dimension as the second object. When he speaks to the landowner, Tanteau is told that the desiccated grass is where a farmer earlier burned some hay. In a nearby woods, Tanteau finds a large broken branch beside a healthy aspen tree. The leaves under the damaged tree are grayish-brown. Dans la nuit, lights in the night. They conduct a chemical analysis of the aspen leaves. No conclusive result is ever found.